of him is changing. I don't like him anymore. And by the final season, he was such a no-good, dirty SOB. And he tried to sell out every one of his friends to get immunity. But like I said, it sort of closed on, even though he had he'd sold everyone out, he now had no more friends. He was no longer out on the street, and this was the end of him. Well, the ironic part of it is that they hired Michael Chiklis to be the person that killed the hero of Sons of Anarchy, by accident. But I thought it was kind of ironic. So I can see all you very fine people out there have been too lazy to get off your butt and pick up the phone and call that number that is on your screen. Surely you must have some kind of opinion there about anything. I'm just sort of going on here, like stretching out time. I had no intentions of talking about the Sons of Anarchy or the Shield or anything else. But when you're desperate at the last minute, you have to do these things. Jim, do you have the upcoming meetings that are available?
Sure do, Doug. As I say them, they'll also be on the screen. Our monthly meetings, the next one is going to be on 14 December at 7 in the evening and in Lebanon. And I can't remember exactly where that meets. Sorry, I just don't have it in front of me. The next one that'll come up is in Chambersburg on the 20th of December. That's also a 7 o'clock start time. And the third one is Lancaster on the 28th of December. Now, being so close to the holidays, I haven't heard anything whether it's going to be canceled or not. So watch our website, and I'll show our website in a little bit. That meeting is in Isaacs on
Manheim Pike, is it?
Manheim Pike, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. You just go on to Route 30, and it's on your right-hand side as you're going out of town, and you can see it up on your right. And there's another fast food restaurant that's right next to it on the road, and there's a little bit like shopping.
Yeah, it's a little shopping mall
behind it.
It's not like an inside shopping center. It's just it used to be called strip malls. Yeah, what they are.
And they've got a private room that they let us use, and we can close the doors so we can talk about all that nasty atheist stuff that we want to talk about, and how we can plot our war against Christmas. Because we have to be careful. People could come in, spies, and hear what our plans are. So
you mean the war on Christmas plans?
Yeah, to the war on Christmas plans.
The whole thing that was started by Bill Riley on Fox News 10 years ago. Well, before that, actually, the history of Christmas and everything, for 500 years, long before Bill Riley ever was around.
Oh, no, it wasn't. He was about that
time. Christians didn't like Christmas because they thought it was commercialized and a lot of other stuff. And it was Saturnalia originally. And also it was solstice celebration, which I might add, we're going to have a winter solstice party on the 17th of December, starting at 2 p.m. And you'll have to go to find out where it's at. You'll have to go to one of our websites or go to one of our meetings, and you'll find out where it's at.
It's like an indoor picnic.
Yeah, it's
use
nice.
Covered dish there. We have also a summer solstice where we'll usually roast a Christian on a spit. But
Doug.
wasn't that? Oh, they
No,
discontinued
they
that.
discontinued
I'm
it 3
sorry.
years ago.
Yes, yeah. But we did once. One of our things, we hired this pig roast place, and anyway, they came up and they roasted this whole pig for us at the picnic. I guess you could say at the solstice party. Boy, was that good! I mean, all the pork you could eat there, and of course, because no one was thinking health at that time, you could get all the skin off the thing and that tasty fat and everything. So it was delicious meal. It really was. And so unfortunately, the people that hosted it moved away and moved to New Orleans. And wasn't it just before? And I think it was just before the last storm that
Just before
that
Katrina?
hit there, yeah. And of course, she was a physician like that, so she must have been busy at the time, and her husband was a very good jazz musician. So he probably helped cheer people up. But yeah, we were sorry to see them go because they had a beautiful open yard with a river that runs through it, and nice shade trees, and put up tents and everything, and plenty of parking for people. And we probably had like about 100 people there, and if you counted the people that came and stayed for a few hours and left, then we probably had 150, 160 people. It was a humongous thing, it really was. So it was quite enjoyable, and everyone gets around and talks. And now we don't really talk about a war on Christmas or those nasty other religions. We talk about everything that you guys would talk about. People talk about their kids, their well, I was going to say what they did in church, but not too many churchgoers are there.
Not too many. Now, what's the name of the thing that Jerry DeWitt does? They're Sunday something or others. Jerry DeWitt used to be a preacher who became an atheist, and in the process of becoming an atheist, which this is fairly common, they lose a lot of their friends, especially if they were at one time strongly religious. And he lost his job. He lost basically he lost everything.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of books been written by former preachers. Like there's maybe one of them right there, but he's gone.
So I missed your hand there for a minute. Took me a second to figure out what you were doing.
Yeah, but I mean, you can look through the bookstores and see books of how I lost faith, why I lost faith, and then there's about a third that of why I found my faith, and God is not dead, and all the sundry other things. Touched by an Angel. I was only touched by an angel once, but
No,
that's a different story. So
we won't talk about that
we
incident.
won't talk about that right now. But she was an angel. So, are we going to get any calls here? You know.
I don't know, but I got a couple more meetings to cover.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
There's that's okay. I'll let you. We're just filling up the hour. Now the Harrisburg meeting is going to be on the 12th of January, the next monthly meeting, and it's actually in Lemoyne, on I think it's 1200 Market Street or Main Street. It's also in Isaacs.
Yeah.
And finally, the final meeting, which
I'll tell you where it's at too. Also at an Isaacs.
I thought I did, but it's also at an Isaacs. So we have 2 monthly meetings occurring in Isaacs. And the final meeting, which I actually jumped over on purpose, is the meeting in York on the 7th of January. Now, the reason I left it to the end, because that's a natural segue into talking about PAN elections that are coming up. The elections occur in York. It'll actually be at the March meeting in York. And in order to vote during the elections, you have to be a member. Now, our memberships are yearly. They start on the 1st of January and go to the 31st of December. And right now we're on a membership drive to get people to sign up again. And you can either get a paper membership at one of the meetings, the monthly meetings, or you can get it online. Now, in order to vote in the election, you have to be a member by sometime in late January. I think it's the 27th, but I'm not sure about the date.
Yeah, or renew your current membership if you are.
And it's very simple. There's a suggested membership dues with the membership, but it's only a suggested one. You can do less, or hopefully you can do more to help us support PAN and the different things that it does. And finally, I wanted to mention one of our chapters sort of spearheaded collecting supplies and funds for a women's shelter for, I believe it's Access York. And there's a list of supplies that they need, things like, simple things like pillows or baby wipes, because let's face it, most of the people that are fleeing and from abusive
go out with
relationships,
one bag or nothing.
To have nothing. They're usually women, not always, but they're usually women, and they often have young children with them, and they need things to take care of these the unfortunate situations they find themselves in.
A few years ago, PAN went to a women's shelter, and we offered to, paint their walls, put down new flooring for them, and basically make the place nice again. And it took us several weekends for us to do it. Of course, a couple of times, we got sort of funny looks because we were the only men in the place. And one time in particular stood in my mind. I was on my knees by a doorstep there, a threshold of a door, and I was just kind of painting the thing, and this little boy opened the door. I mean, God, just a few years old. And he saw me standing there, and he throws up his arms. He's like, oh, I'm going to hit him. And the mother came to the door, and I guess that they had told the people that were there what we were doing, but she apologized to me, and I said, no, actually, I should apologize for scaring your son, but well, we try to keep we try to do the good and the best thing for people.
Yeah, we do some other things too during the year. We do blood donations. We try and get people to go out and give blood and we usually we have a code name, or rather a code to enter that gives us that says that we're from Pan. We've done at the baseball game. Sometimes we'll help it out at one of the concession stands. And then the monies or profits or whatever end up going to the Margaret Mole Home, which is a very worthwhile home in York, where people with, I don't know if it's cystic fibrosis or some sort of disease, they're young and old, but they usually end up in a wheelchair because they just, after a while, they just cannot get around anymore.
Can't really breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's there are a number of other things that we do as a charitable thing. We are a 501c3, I think it's called.
Yes, which is a non-profit organization,
Yeah.
incorporated.
Yeah, we're sort of both a charitable and also an educational type.
And of course, you tell them about the road clear up, the highway cleanup that we do.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We do. What do they call it?
Clean up York, or
No, it's a common name where a group goes out and picks up the highway. What? Adopt a highway. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Adopt a highway, and we're not the only group that does that. I know that Lancaster Free Thought Society also does Adopt a Highway, and I'm sure others do, but those are the two I know of because I've helped both of them personally. I had something else on my mind. I just dropped that out of my mind. I can't remember what else.
that was alleged mind.
Yeah. The Swiss cheese mind. The things fall out the holes all the time. That's all I can think of at the moment. I'll jump in if I can think of something else in the last
Fantastic.
8 minutes or
And
so.
thank you very much. And it looks like it's something like about 6:51 now, or something close to that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's too bad we haven't had any of people call in. I'm
I know.
quite sure that there are enough opinions.
I know.
out
Normally
there, but-
normally the phone rings off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, we really
Well,
would love to hear
if it had
your
a hook.
opinion. But I guess they're not doing it today. That's 846-5067,
It's on the screen.
and it's on the screen.
Oh, I know. Did we mention the time and place of the winter solstice? I guess we did, didn't we? The winter
Yep.
solstice party, again, is on the 17th of December at 2 p.m. And our next show is...
Maybe.
The next show is scheduled for the 27th of December.
Yeah. couple of
Don't
days
know
after.
right now exactly what that will be, or if it'll be live, if it'll be pre-recorded, or what. But regardless, the show after that will be in the second Tuesday in January, and we will definitely be there live and taking calls for anybody that wants to call in and.
We won't be there. We'll be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be clear on stuff like that.
So, all yours, Doug, for the last 6 minutes.
Okay, so this season is coming to an end. I was a little disappointed last year during December because there was a lot of old bar humbugs out there, and although not a believer in Christmas per se, I do like the Christmas holidays. I like the decorations, and I think that everyone and every religion should be able to put up there not just a manger scene, but if the Jewish people want to celebrate Hanukkah, which I think is it the day after Christmas, and runs for
usually before Christmas.
okay.
Usually before Christmas,
it's
but
Kwanzaa that I'm
Kwanzaa.
thinking. Kwanzaa that's before, and I like going out and seeing all the houses that are decorated, and it's fun to drive by some of the more elaborate places. You know, take my camera with me, and I believe a couple of shows ago we even showed some of the photos that we took in the area. So we hope that you will continue to celebrate the holiday season, and whether you say Merry Xmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or whatever, you try to live it. Try to make someone happy, and lay off all the nasty comments, unless of course you have to give them. Some people just deserve it, but you try to be nice during Christmas. And what can I say? I guess that I am running out of things today with three, count them, three, or in Germany they go 3 minutes to go.
In German they go drei.
Yeah,
Ein, zwei, drei.
Drei, vier, fünf. Yes, those were the good old days. Being over in Germany just after the war, and that's the Second World War. So I guess that you don't want to talk about me coming around to your house and confiscating all your guns. If you want to get rid of them, then well, I can pick them up and sell them for you. Of course, I keep the money if you've got a good collection.
Behave yourself.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you say you can't love things, but you know, I love guns. I hate hunting. You wouldn't catch me out shooting a deer no matter what. That if they had cow season, well, maybe I'd shoot me a filet mignon, you know. But that's I wouldn't mind dragging a cow back to my car, but a deer or a bear, no, I doesn't. Seriously, that doesn't turn me on in the least, and I have no desire to go out and shoot Bambi in the back of the head just as he's leaning down to take a little drink out of the stream, and bam! Someone blows his brains out.
I went to hunting mistletoe once.
You went
with
hunting
shotgun.
Did you?
Yeah, it was way up high in trees. We went out and shot it down, and gathered mistletoe that way. They were never very big pieces, though. They were always fairly small. I thought mistletoe was bigger than that, but
Well, you had to use smaller shot, didn't you?
don't know.
Either
It wasn't
that
my.
or
It wasn't
take
my
it down with
shotgun.
one shot. You know, just get a single bullet and just cut the branch.
I doubt if any of us were that good a shot, but anyway. So the last 30 seconds. Any last comments, Doug?
No, just that we thank you very much for tuning in. Maybe next time you can get off your duff and make a few phone calls to us, and we will enjoy it. See you later. Take care.